Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. Today, we got a very interesting show. The reason I'm saying today's show is interesting is because where all of this is slowly leading. But before we even get into today's topic, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. So let's get into this topic here. Just 2 or 3 weeks ago, the biggest news that hit the sports world this year was the shocking out of the blue trade between the Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks where they swapped Luka Doncic, a generational talent, for Anthony Davis, one of the best players in the NBA. Something that sent a jolt throughout the sports community. We all reacted to it. At the time that it went down, a lot of us were kind of giving our immediate thoughts, and I was amongst the people that said that the Dallas Mavericks won the trade in the short term, and I believe the Lakers won it in the long term. But then Anthony Davis obviously had his debut game, and he got injured in the third quarter where he was having a beast mode game. I think it was like 26 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists, or 16 rebounds, 7, some beast mode game. Then he gets injured, right? And we haven't seen him since. And then we looked on the Lakers side, and then we realized, okay, Luka Doncic was injured during this trade. And I then thought to myself, I said, how can players get traded? Don't you have to pass a physical examination? I don't know how that works. But anyway, it worked out for this situation. Same thing with the Ben Simmons trade. It worked out there as well. I don't know how. But anyway, that trade went down. And everybody was reacting to it. And I thought that the Lakers really did well by securing a cornerstone player for the next 6 to 7, 8 years in Luka Doncic. So what happened? The first game, Luka played with LeBron James. They won against the Utah Jazz, I believe 130 to something, right? They beat the Utah Jazz. Everyone was hollering and screaming, twerking it up all over the place. Then the very next game, which was the last game before they went into the All-Star break, they ended up losing to the Jazz. And I think they ended up having to take their starters out in the fourth quarter. And then people started to become skeptical about this team. And by skeptical, I mean they really began to become skeptical about Luka. And then I started noticing various channels making videos about Luka. Luka, did the Lakers lose this trade? Did they get a lemon in the trade? Was it a bad trade? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what's going on here? Then I woke up and I saw a segment from Nightcap with Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharp, and they were talking about some new information that surfaced from an article via Athletic that was talking about some of the issues, the hidden issues surrounding the Luka Doncic trade. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I did some research and I came across an article from heavy.com with the following headline that says, Lakers bad news on Luka Doncic keeps coming on many fronts after All-Star breaks. The trade. And NBA fans and the media call it now. The one that sent a 31-year-old Anthony Davis to the Dallas Mavericks in exchange for 25-year-old five-time first All-NBA shooting guard Luka Doncic, who became a Los Angeles Laker, has so far not worked out terrifically for either team. Playing just one game in Dallas, Davis suffered an adductor injury, the type of injury once referred to as a groin pull, that is now expected to keep him sidelined for multiple weeks with no target date for a return in sight. On the Los Angeles side of the deal, Doncic continues to struggle with a left calf strain that kept him sidelined for 27 of the 49 games before he was traded. The 2018-2019 Rookie of the Year continued to sit out, missing his first 3 games as a Laker before seeing action against the Utah Jazz in a 2-game series on Friday, the 10th and the 12th. But Doncic played just 23 minutes in each of those games. More bad news for Lakers about prized new acquisition. Now, more bad news for the Lakers as they've announced that Doncic will miss at least one more game despite coming out of a week's worth of downtime. Doncic, for the first time since his rookie year, was not named an All-Star. He seemed to enjoy his vacation, posting a picture on social media that appeared to show him watching All-Star game action on a laptop computer as he relaxed poolside at an unidentified resort. Though it looks as if he should be well rested when the Lakers face the Charlotte Hornets at home on Wednesday, the team now says he will miss either that contest or the game the following night when the Lakers travel to Portland, Oregon to face the Trailblazers. The Lakers have kept Doncic under 25 minutes in his first 2 games in purple and gold and are expected to persist with a measured approach as the 25-year-old progresses in his comeback after missing his final 19 games as the Maverick with the left calf strained on Christmas Day. NBA insider Mark Stein wrote in his Monday newsletter, when the Lakers will get the full benefit of Doncic's presence alongside LeBron James remains up in the air. And now, in yet more bad news, after James pulled out of the Sunday's All-Star competition in the last-minute sighting, ankle and foot discomfort, according to correspondent Sam Amico of Hoops Wire, some around the NBA say they would have been led to believe the issue isn't exactly minor. And then let's move to the last part. It says Doncic reportedly takes lax approach to conditioning. The report revealed that one of the possible reasons for the prolonged Doncic's absence is that Slovenia native fails to properly care for his physical body. The Athletic reported that the Mavericks had grown frustrated with Doncic's conditioning and off-court habits. In one instance, in November, the Mavs sat their mercurial young star for 5 straight games with what was listed as a right wrist sprain. However, according to the publication, that injury classification was not entirely true. In reality, Doncic was supposed to use time off to improve his conditioning, team sources said. Eventually, Maverick officials became so concerned that Doncic's body would break down possibly sooner than anyone would expect, and that they decided they must move on from someone who could still one day be a league MVP. So they shipped Doncic to the Lakers, where his lax approach to conditioning becomes the Lakers' problem now. Okay, so the first thing this article is saying is that Luka is going to miss an additional game or two, depending on where he is right now in terms of his recovery from his injury. So that's not really big news. The bigger piece of news is what the article said at the latter stages, which is where it says that the Mavs had grown frustrated with how Luka took care of his body, and that he didn't really seem to be dedicated to his physical conditioning, and they were afraid that he would end up actually having a shorter career if he didn't change things, which he didn't show any indication of doing. So therefore, they decided to ship him off to the Lakers. So what does this all mean? It means a few things. It means, number one, that the Lakers took a chance on him, or they didn't do their due diligence. Now, let's go back to what was said after the trade. Nico and Rob Pelinka said that they had this conversation in private. Let's think about this carefully. These two guys are buddies. They had this trade under wraps. They were working on it together. So you're telling me that Nico, who's such a close friend with Rob, didn't disclose to Rob some of the concerns that the Mavs were having with Luka? Is that possible? Well, I don't know if it's possible. You tell me. These guys are close friends. So we would then have to say that Rob was either totally unaware, or he was told something that was different from the reality. So we have that aspect of it in terms of the Lakers being duped in this trade. We have the other aspect of it, which is Luka not going to be healthy enough to perform for the Lakers moving forward? That's another issue. And then we have the final angle in all of this, which is this. Are they trying to find a roundabout way for finding who they're going to place blame on in case things go wrong? This is where I depart from this entire story here. Because to me, what this looks like is that the media and people out there that make up the media are looking for who they're going to scapegoat in case things don't go well. And now it seems like they've identified their new scapegoat, which is Luka Doncic. And now if things don't work out, they're going to say, well, it's Luka's health. And the reason I can't take these people seriously is because this has been the pattern for the last 6 years, or rather, it's been the pattern ever since LeBron James got there. Every year, there must be somebody new to blame. Or something new. If they're not blaming star players, damn, I just bit my tongue. If they're not blaming star players, they're blaming role players. If they're not blaming role players, they're blaming coaches. This has been the pattern. So now it looks to me that the new person that they're singling out is Luka. And the craziest part about all of this, Luka is their best player. Luka is the Lakers' best player. Don't tell LeBron fans that, because LeBron fans, in their mind, they believe LeBron is the best player in the world. They believe he's better than Luka. They believe he's better than Giannis, and they believe he's better than Nikola Jokic if you ask them. They really believe that. They really believe that what we see with Nikola Jokic is not real. It's not really real. And now they're looking for a roundabout way, a slick way to blame Luka. That's what they're trying to do. The guy that just came from the finals with this body of his. This is what they're trying to do. And you better believe if this thing goes sour and they start losing, they're going to blame it on Luka's conditioning. Book it. The issue will now be Luka's conditioning. I thought this LeBron James media would change after Luka got into town. It looks like it won't. The new scapegoat looks like it's going to be Luka Doncic. Mark my words. If things don't work out, they will blame Luka. You better bet it. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. I'm out. Peace.